Hi traders, welcome to Elite Currency. My name is Chris. Today's video is about cryptocurrencies and we'll take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and also gold. Alright, this is Bitcoin versus the US dollar daily chart, and you can see that Bitcoin, of course, made this massive upside here from about 3,000 to 20,000. This was the last, there was a retracement here actually in November. But I think that the September one was a little bit bigger in the retracement size as well. So measured from 3,000, we had a upside for 3 months, I think, right? And a six-fold of price. So massive upside momentum. This is one of the first corrections since September, since July. So yes, we're in new territory again after some great bullish momentum. And you can see that price, looking at this oscillator, is showing some bearishness. The green line is below the orange line. So just as we had it here as well, this retracement. So we're seeing some strong momentum because look at the strength of this oscillator. Look at the strength of this oscillator. It's nothing we've seen ever before. It's totally the highest high, and price is the highest high. So there is convergence, there is confirmation, there is no divergence present at this moment. So yes, price is retracing, but from a technical analysis point of view, not looking at fundamentals from blockchains, etc., just looking at price action, just looking at technicals, there should be at least one more higher high to create divergence, and then we'll have to see, right? But for the moment, this is looking like a retracement. If we put a fib from here, the September low bottom, to this top, we see the price neatly bounced off that 50 fib. We're talking about this in ECS Live. I think we also had a video on the YouTube channel as well. 38 fib was the one that I was looking for, and where I entered personally as well. But it went actually even deeper. It went to the 50 fib. So now price is a little bit above that 38.2 fib, making a little bit of correction. So can price get to that 61.8 fib? Maybe. I don't think it's very likely. Price is probably going to ride along this 21 EMA, which has already acted as support for price ever since the September dip, when it actually went to the long-term moving average, and July 2. So let's zoom in a little bit and take a look at the 4-hour chart now. Taking a look at the weekly chart, by the way, and we see a fractal. That's also something new, right? So two candles haven't broken this high, but that could just indicate a small pause. From a daily point of view, we are looking at candle number 14, which is actually about the time that a breakout is starting to become a little bit more likely, right? The time factor pattern says 5 to 6 candles not breaking the high, which would be around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? That candle indicates a bigger correction up to 13. We're on candle number 14 at this moment, right? Or 13, I think. No, sorry, even more. So 14, 15. So that's fine. So we're in breakout territory. Now, I will still keep an eye on this trend line. I mean, if it were to break below support like this, price could challenge this bottom again, right? Or the 50 fib again. And if it breaks the 50 fib, it can go to the 61.8 fib. Both could be bouncing spots if it breaks this trend line. I don't think it's very likely it will do that though. Otherwise, let's put trend lines here like this. All right. And go to the hourly chart. All right, there we go. So for the moment, price is moving up slowly but surely. It's had some bullish price action. There was a fall here. I think that this is definitely a good bounce. This is looking more corrective. So from this point of view, an ABC pattern could have been completed there. And I think that if price manages on the 4-hour chart to break through this trend line, this zone right here, there could be a new bullish breakout. And that breakout could take it to the next target, the minus 272 target at 23,600. 25,000 is also pretty close by. So that could be the next target for Bitcoin, that it would then break above that high of last year and make a new higher high. So it is possible, I would say, that that could happen in next 1 to probably 3 weeks. Doesn't have to be this week necessarily, but could be in the near term if price breaks above this resistance. All right. If price is moving slow here, it could build a triangle, and we'll have to reanalyze that later on. All right. So that's my view on Bitcoin. Ethereum and Ripple have shown the ability to move up despite the correction on Bitcoin. So they are kind of like not in sync as they were before that, right? Bitcoin was moving up, others were moving up. Bitcoin was moving down, others were moving down. Ethereum and Ripple have managed to produce momentum despite corrective pattern that we've seen on Bitcoin since mid-December. Ripple was first, Ethereum followed. Mid-December is about here, right? This is where Bitcoin made its high, and it's never been higher, right? Whereas Ethereum actually has doubled in the meantime. So just picture that. Bitcoin is still pretty much quite a distance from its high, right? At least a quarter off its high. Whereas Ethereum has doubled. So it does show a disconnect at this moment between the two. Ethereum catching up with Bitcoin. The market cap is still less than half, right? Ethereum is still, Bitcoin is still twice as big or more than that. But there is some catching up here. So let's see how that continues over this year, during this year. Now, let's see. Price is in a momentum to the upside, so we should take a look at what targets the Ethereum could make. Let's zoom back all the way here and put a fib on this very first upside. Then we had a correction, remember, and in November it started to break. Here in November, and in December it broke even better, hook back and continue. That's what we're in at this moment. It's pretty much at the minus 200 target at this moment. So looks like 1500 could be in vision. Let's take a look at the end of the correction to the first pullback, 61.8 pullback here, and at the minus 61.8 target, but still strong daily candles. So for the moment, it is, I don't think we should expect much correction. Look at these, look at the ECS MACD, very powerful bullish momentum. Every day is showing momentum so far. So, I don't think there's any retracement coming soon. Maybe 1500, there could be another retracement back to the short-term moving average. There's no divergence present at this moment. So I think that if you're looking for a discount, probably have to wait to 1500, wait for price to get maybe back to 1000, for instance, as the moving average catches up, and then look for a bounce there for further upside. I think that would have to be the goal. If you're looking for a small move, perhaps, right? I don't know. There could be a retracement, just a simple retracement of yesterday's candle, right, to 1100, or a retracement to 1000. Those could be small trades, but I would say that 1500 for the moment is probably the kind of psychological target to keep in mind. 1400 already is the minus 100 target. 1400, 1500 probably for the moment. As long as these daily candles keep pushing up, it looks like continuation. Ripple actually from mid-December, right, has been moving up a lot. It quadrupled, whereas Bitcoin is still not above that high. Ripple has not doubled, but doubled the double. So it's 4 times as much as mid-December, whereas Bitcoin has actually moved down. So it's quite interesting. Again, this disconnect here between those, Ripple and Ethereum catching up in terms of market cap. But now there's a bit of a disconnect between Ethereum and Ripple. Ripple really did the most between 20 January and 4th of January. Ethereum did the most really after 2nd of January, right? The most. So yes, Ripple is now making a little bit of correction. It's not surprising, of course, after a quadruple movement there. And the long range right here and a very, very quick upside. So we're seeing also that price has hit the 50 fib, pretty good reaction to it, but a pretty good pin bar, and it looks like an ABC correction has finished. So I think that this could be an interesting spot at this moment for Ripple for a more maybe a bit longer term trade than Ethereum, because Ethereum is in momentum right now. The target seems to be pretty close, and before it might make a retracement. Ripple has already made this retracement. So it looks like now an ABC correction, roughly to the 50 fib, roughly to the long-term moving average. I think that this correction could be finished. So we have a strong pin bar here. That is a strong price action candlestick pattern. So I think looking for a trade off of that pin bar might make sense, in my view at least. One could also put a fib on that, right? And you can see 38, almost 38 hit. If it does go lower, like the 50, 61.8 fib, could be an interesting spot as well. And furthermore, if a bit more confirmation is required, one could wait for the break of this trend line, right? This does look like an ABC, good pin bar, good 50 fib, good long-term moving average. The breakout of that trend line, I think, could be an interesting way to trade it. I mean, for the moment, once again, no divergence, strong momentum to the upside. And if it does push higher, a break of this trend line should see price at least retesting this top, maybe breaking this top. And last but not least, gold for the moment is at resistance. And if I put a fib from here to here, you can see that it's at the 78 point or close to the 78.6 fib, which could be a turning spot. For the moment, I think that that is still pretty hefty resistance, and price might bounce there for a downside towards 1150, 1100, which could be a big upside from there. If price does break above the resistance line, then that big upside could start now, because what could happen is that this is momentum right here. Sorry, I just have to grab this fib. This could be momentum. This could be correction like this. Three wave, A, B, C, and up it goes. So in that case, that upside could take price pretty far, right? If it does do that, if this is upside and this is correction, and up it goes, well, all of these targets are in play, even up to the previous top at around 1900. If it breaks right away, the same thing could happen. But for the moment, I think one more dip down before it moves up is likely. All right, more free material on our website, elitecurrency.com. Wish you all good trading. Check out our ECS.start package there, by the way. And see y'all soon. Cheers.